Assalamu alaikum. This is Muslim Network TV, and I'm your host, Alia Batul. This is GTA Muslims Today, where I'm joined here with Ifra Baig from the Green Party, and I'm going to be asking her some questions about her running for the Green Party in the Dufferin Caledon region. Ifra, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And tell us a little bit about your beginnings. How did you get into politics?
Honestly, I've always been interested in politics since I was a kid. Just the idea of standing up and being able to make change. As soon as I saw the opportunity open, I was so excited because I've always wanted to do this, and I just took it up, and I'm just going through that journey right now.
And what made you want to run for the Green Party in particular?
A lot of the Green Party's values stand with my values, so I have been eyeing them for a while. But as soon as I saw that there was an opportunity to be a candidate for them, I was honestly really excited because of the fact that they just stand for so many things and talk about so many things that are kind of like left untalked about, such as like they want to push for affordable housing, they want to push for better climate action. They really stand for the genocide in Palestine. They're trying to put an end to it. They're trying to just implement policies that would help Canada put an end to it and everything. And I feel like this is really uncommon because a lot of the other parties do not speak up about it overall, and this is just very important.
And I know you touched on this a little bit, but what issues do you think are actually affecting the people right now?
Right now, number one, affordable housing. Like, so many people can't even afford a house right now, and even if they do have a house, like another problem that comes in the middle is just being able to actually put proper food on their plate. Like, they kind of have to choose between the basic needs, which should never be a thing, especially when we're living in a country like Canada. Everyone should have access to at least their basic rights and their basic needs. And honestly, it's really sad seeing how many people are really suffering right now with this current government.
And there was a study done that showed that 70% of people, young people, feel that they will never be able to afford a home. What are your thoughts on that study?
Honestly, this is really sad because the fact that our youth right now really think that they won't be able to afford a house in the future, it's just because of how the government has placed things, how expensive they've made living. Like, I know you guys know that Canada was not always like this. We were able to afford stuff like this. A house was never really above $1 million. The average would be kind of like in the mid, like 400 or 500s, and it's really insane how the prices have like gone up. And then at the same time, people aren't getting paid this much as well. So it's really saddening to hear that. And the Green Party has some amazing policies that would implement having more affordable housing. They're really trying to introduce a universal basic income to residents as well, which would be that every single person gets a set amount of money every month, which kind of helps them have their needs, and like with their job on the side, they could save up money. They could put that towards affordable housing, and just they would be able to actually make it through in this country.
And speaking on climate change in particular, what policies do you think can be brought forward to lead to a more cleaner and just better future in terms of that?
One thing that I really stand for is to end fossil fuel subsidies. So fossil fuel subsidies are basically the government kind of just cuts taxes and gives more money to these companies that kind of are the reason of pollution. So these oil companies and just people that like kind of emit fossil fuels. And honestly, ending fossil fuel subsidies would be amazing because this would kind of lessen pollution in Canada. With that, they could actually redirect that money towards making Canada a better place, maybe implementing more affordable housing, starting the universal basic income policy. So many things can be done if this one really big thing is just ends, because this is honestly insane. It's like there's pollution happening, and with that, they're like the companies who are causing the pollution, they're also getting their taxes cut, they're getting more money. And honestly, it's just not that necessary as much as the residents in Canada kind of just need that money right now.
And another thing that's affecting the people is the state of healthcare in this country. What are your thoughts on the state of healthcare right now?
Honestly, it's amazing that in this country, in Ontario so far, it's amazing that we do have free healthcare, but I just feel like so many people still suffer because of the wait times that we have, because of just how low priority the healthcare kind of actually gives them. So they would just go to a hospital, they would go to the emergency section, and they would have to wait just like like 8 hours straight just for like the smallest thing. And honestly, that's horrible. Even in the Dufferin County, the lack of hospitals over there, it's not that accessible. Like if a resident lives all the way in Shelburne, they would have to go really far just for a hospital, and that's just like not okay, because emergencies can happen at any time, and there should be accessible healthcare everywhere. And I feel like that's really something that the government does have to fix, making sure that residents of like all communities do have accessible healthcare, faster healthcare, and just faster service.
I want to ask you a question also about representation. I feel like a lot of our people feel that they're not being represented in politics. What is your message to those people in particular?
A lot of us, it's true that we're not represented in politics, but another thing is that we actually have to be the ones standing up to be represented in politics. So a lot of Muslim youth, like, they feel shy, they feel uncomfortable stepping up just because of what a lot of people have made it to be. But honestly, I just want to let everyone know that if you do step up, if you do get that boost of confidence in you and take the step to actually work towards a better future, people will start being inspired, people will start looking up to you, and people will honestly start copying you and doing the same. And with that, we could have a strong representation in Canada for the Muslim, for the youth, and all people of those sorts who don't feel that heard.
Speaking of the youth, you are so young yourself, and it's so impressive to see someone so young standing up, and running for the Green Party.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about your experience as a young person running for the Green Party.
So far, it's been pretty interesting, honestly. I was initially really scared because I know, like, I'm very young, and it's like a lot of people have told me to my face, like, they aren't going to vote for me because they don't think I'm experienced, they don't think I'm mature, they don't think I have what it takes. But honestly, I feel like everyone needs to understand that sometimes age really is just a number, because if someone so young is standing up to fight for Canada, to fight for the country, and to fight for better policies, it would obviously be because they want to see a better future for themselves and the youth. Because the youth right now are the only people who can make the best changes to this country, because it's their future that they're fighting for, it's their future that they're working for. And it's been a very mixed response being being so young and running, but there are some people who do kind of just appreciate you for that. They admire the fact that you're so young and running. But again, like, some of the people, like, they're totally against it. They just will say the worst things about you because you're so young. They think you're making a joke out of yourselves. But sometimes you just have to put that to the side and remember why you're actually doing this. Remember the purpose that kind of like drove you to do this. And with that, I feel like everything just does get along easier.
Yeah, because young people are the future, so we need
Definitely.
more people like you. This is my last question. I wanted to ask you about everything that's been happening in Gaza right now, in Palestine. There's been so much pain and destruction in the past
Definitely, yeah.
18 months. So I wanted to ask you, what are some policies that you think Canada should put forward to lead to more peace in the region?
Number one, and this is like the most important one, actually call for Palestine to be recognized as its own state. So far, Canada has hardly done that. They've mentioned this genocide in a very slight way, in a very subtle way, but they're not really focusing on the actual issue. If they do this one thing, then a lot of people, a lot of countries will be impacted by this, because they will see that a country as big as Canada has called for Palestine to be its own state, and that just makes a really big difference. And number two, like, this is very important, but ending this, like, arms sales to Israel, because I understand that everyone there just wants, honestly, people in both countries should have peace. They shouldn't be going through a war. But by Canada funding the arms to Israel, it just gives them more of a platform basis to actually be able to kill millions of lives in Gaza and everything. This war, it's never going to come to an end if they keep getting funds for these arms and everything. And it's just not the most best thing to do. If Canada does also, like, end these sales, a lot of other countries might look and be inspired, because again, Canada is a very big country. They have a lot of power. And if this just ends, then it's like they will have, like, less funding. And with that, I feel like everything can definitely, maybe not end right away, but definitely ease down if they just make this one step that honestly everyone has been calling on them to do so far, but they have not. It's yet to be done.
Well, that was very insightful. Thank you so much, Ifra, for your time. And thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more updates like this. This is Muslim Network TV, and I'm your host, Alia Batul.